Valkyries and Afterlife. What happens when a Viking dies? Hey everyone, have you ever wondered what those legendary Vikings believed happened after they took their last breath on the battlefield? Well, today we're diving deep into the mystical world of Norse mythology to uncover the secrets of the Viking afterlife. From the fearless Valkyries swooping down to choose the slain, to the grand halls of Valhalla and the enigmatic realms beyond, we're about to embark on an epic journey. So grab your horned helmets, pour yourself some mead, and let's get started. The Viking perspective on death. Let's kick things off by exploring how the Vikings viewed death. For these seafaring warriors, death wasn't something to dread. It was a gateway to honor and eternal glory. Dying in battle was considered the most honorable way to depart from this world. Bravery and valor were the cornerstones of Viking culture, and they believed that showing courage in the face of death was the ultimate display of these virtues. Fearlessness towards death stemmed from their belief in fate, or Wyrd. They saw life as a tapestry woven by the Norns, the mythical beings who controlled destiny. Accepting one's fate meant embracing whatever end awaited them, especially on the battlefield. Stories abound of warriors who met death head-on, laughing in the face of danger because they trusted in their predetermined path. But it wasn't just about how they died, it was also about how they lived on. Vikings placed immense importance on leaving behind an eternal legacy. Being remembered through sagas and songs was a way to achieve immortality. Their heroic deeds would be recounted by skalds, poets, around roaring fires, ensuring their names echoed through generations. Imagine living your life with the aim of becoming a legend. That was the Viking way. Valkyries, the choosers of the slain. Now, let's meet the Valkyries, the mysterious and powerful maidens of Norse mythology. The word, Valkyrie, comes from Old Norse, Valkyrja, which means, chooser of the slain. These weren't just any beings. They were divine figures serving the god Odin, and they had a crucial role in the fate of warriors. So, what exactly did the Valkyries do? During battles, they soared over the fields on winged horses, or sometimes wolves, surveying the chaos below. They selected the bravest of the warriors who had fallen, choosing who would be worthy to join Odin in the afterlife. This wasn't a random selection, it was based on courage, skill, and honor displayed in combat. In literature like the Poetic Edda and the Prose Edda, Valkyries are depicted as both beautiful and formidable. They wore gleaming armor, carried spears, and their presence often signified impending death. Artists throughout history have been captivated by their image, leading to stunning visual representations in paintings and sculptures. In modern times, they've inspired characters in movies, books, and even video games. Their allure is timeless, embodying the blend of beauty and battle. 3. The journey of the Viking soul. Imagine this. You're a Viking warrior in the heat of battle. The clash of steel surrounds you, and the air is thick with the cries of warriors. Suddenly, a fatal blow strikes. As you fall, figures begin to appear through the mist. The Valkyries have arrived. This moment marks your transition from the mortal world to the afterlife. The Valkyries gently lift your soul from the battlefield. But where do they take you? That depends on several factors. They select warriors based on bravery and honor, guiding them to their destined afterlife. For those chosen, it's the beginning of an eternal journey filled with glory. But not every soul is claimed by the Valkyries. Those who didn't die in battle or didn't meet the criteria took different paths. The Norse afterlife was complex, with multiple realms accommodating various types of deaths. The key takeaway here is that being chosen by a Valkyrie was a distinct honor, reserved for the most valiant souls. Valhalla, Odin's majestic hall. So, if you're one of the chosen, you might find yourself in Valhalla, Odin's magnificent hall. Valhalla is described as a warrior's paradise, a grand hall with a ceiling of golden shields and walls adorned with spears. It's situated in Asgard, the realm of the gods. In Valhalla, the chosen warriors are known as the Einherjar. Their days are filled with fierce battles against one another, honing their skills for the ultimate fight during Ragnarok, the prophesied end of the world. And here's the kicker. No matter how many times they die in these daily combats, they're resurrected to fight again. Talk about an intense training regimen. When night falls, The Einherjar gather for grand feasts. They're served endless amounts of mead by the Valkyries, and the boar Saerimner is cooked every evening, only to be made whole again for the next feast. The camaraderie is unparalleled, and the atmosphere is one of perpetual celebration. Valhalla wasn't just a mythical place, it was a powerful symbol in Viking culture. The promise of such an afterlife motivated warriors to exhibit utmost bravery, knowing that Odin himself awaited those who proved themselves worthy. V. Folkvanger, Freya's field. But Valhalla isn't the only destination for the fallen. Enter Folkvanger, the field ruled by the goddess Freya. Freya is a prominent deity in Norse mythology, associated with love, beauty, fertility, and war. Here's an interesting fact: Freya gets the first pick of the slain warriors. She selects half of those who die in battle, and Odin receives the other half. Those chosen by Freya are welcomed into Folkvanger, which translates to Field of the People, or Field of Armies. While Folkvanger isn't as extensively described as Valhalla, it's believed to be a splendid realm where warriors enjoy a peaceful afterlife under Freya's guidance. Some theories suggest that Freya's chosen are those who exhibited particular qualities like passion, loyalty, or a connection to magic, since Freya was also associated with Ser, a form of Norse magic. The division of the fallen between Odin and Freya highlights the importance of both deities in Viking society. It also reflects the nuanced views Vikings held about honor, valor, and the afterlife. V. Helheim, the realm of the dead. Now, let's talk about Helheim, the realm for those who didn't die gloriously in battle. Ruled by Hel, the daughter of the trickster god Loki, Helheim is often misunderstood. Contrary to some beliefs, Helheim isn't a place of eternal torment like the Christian hell. Instead, it's portrayed as a cold, shadowy realm located in Niflheim, one of the 9 worlds. It's a place for those who died of sickness, old age, or weren't chosen by the Valkyries. Life in Helheim is more mundane than tortuous. The souls here exist in a somber state, reflecting on their lives. Hel herself is described as a somewhat grim figure, half alive, half dead, but not necessarily malevolent. Helheim also plays a role in the events of Ragnarok. It's prophesied that Hel will lead an army of the dead against the gods. This adds a layer of complexity to the realm, showing that even those in Helheim have a place in the cosmic events of Norse mythology. Understanding Helheim dispels misconceptions and highlights the Vikings' multifaceted views on death and the afterlife. V. Rituals and funeral practices. The Vikings didn't leave the journey to the afterlife to chance. Their funeral practices were rich with symbolism and designed to ensure safe passage for the departed. One of the most iconic customs was the ship burial. The Vikings believed that ships could carry souls to the afterlife. In this ritual, the deceased was placed in a boat, surrounded by grave goods, everything from weapons and armor to jewelry and personal belongings. High-ranking individuals might even have animals or servants sacrificed to join them, illustrating their status. Sometimes, the ships were set ablaze and sent out to sea, a dramatic farewell meant to release the spirit and prevent it from returning. Other times, they were buried under mounds of earth, creating lasting monuments. Cremation was also common. Burning the body was thought to release the soul and purify it. The smoke was believed to carry the spirit upwards to the heavens, aligning with the journey towards the afterlife. These practices weren't just about honoring the dead, they were expressions of deeply held beliefs about life, death, and what comes next. 8. The afterlife's influence on Viking society. So, how did these beliefs shape Viking society? In more ways than you might think. The promise of an honorable afterlife motivated Vikings to act with courage and integrity. Honor wasn't just a personal virtue, it was a social expectation. Warriors sought to perform heroic deeds, not just for personal glory but to uphold family and community honor. This emphasis on valor influenced social structures. Leaders were expected to embody these ideals, setting examples for others. Reputation was everything, and a tarnished name could have repercussions both in life and in the perceived afterlife. Moreover, their beliefs fueled exploration and expansion. Vikings ventured across seas, not just seeking wealth but also opportunities to prove themselves. From trading expeditions to daring raids, These journeys were as much about honor as they were about resources. In essence, the Vikings' views on the afterlife were intricately linked to their way of life, affecting decisions at both personal and societal levels. Valkyries and the afterlife in modern culture. Fast forward to today, and the legacy of the Valkyries and Viking afterlife beliefs is alive and well. In literature, they've inspired countless stories and characters. Richard Wagner's opera, Die Walküre, part of his Ring cycle, introduced the Ride of the Valkyries, an iconic piece of music you've probably heard. Movies and TV shows love to tap into Norse mythology. The Marvel Cinematic Universe features Valkyrie as a fierce warrior ally of Thor. The TV series, Vikings, delves into these myths, blending history with legend. Video games aren't left out either. Titles like God of War and Assassin's Creed Valhalla allow players to immerse themselves in Norse worlds, interacting with gods, Valkyries, and exploring realms like Valhalla and Helheim. However, with popularity comes the risk of misconceptions. Modern portrayals sometimes take creative liberties, leading to a romanticized or altered understanding of the myths. It's fascinating to see how these ancient beliefs continue to capture our imagination, but it's also important to appreciate their origins and cultural significance. So there you have it. We've journeyed through the Viking afterlife, exploring how these legendary warriors viewed death and what awaited them beyond the mortal realm. From the fearless acceptance of fate to the pursuit of eternal legacy, the Vikings embraced life's challenges with unparalleled courage. Their beliefs in Valkyries, Valhalla, Folkvanger, and even Helheim weren't just stories, they were integral to their identity and society. These concepts influenced how they lived, fought, and remembered one another. It's incredible to see how these ancient ideas still resonate today, reminding us of universal themes like honor, bravery, and the desire to leave a lasting impact. Thank you so much for joining me on this epic adventure. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Norse mythology, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe for more fascinating content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What's your favorite part of Viking mythology? Until next time, may your journeys be full of adventure, and as the Vikings would say, skål.